because somebody posted something about they were selling tickets. And I was like, oh, for the Browns. I thought that was that season opener or something.
Nah.
I just wanted to make sure I hit the live button so the world can hear Brother Guy talking about sports officially on the record. That's about a football game. So we just in case on the record, we have it. That Brother Guy does indeed talk sports, despite him pretending that he does not know anything about it. But with that being said, we are back, fellas. We are fresh off of WWE Clash in Paris. Brother Guy talking about sports. So much going on. And today we are going to talk about Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, the latest WWE power couple, and how they run WWE. Not to mention, we are going to compare them to other power couples that have come through. And I don't know for sure, but I got an argument to prove that I think that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are the most powerful couple in WWE history, with an exception of one before them. We're going to find out what that is and more. So once again, brothers, we are back. Yes, we missed a week, but you know what time it is. Buck your seatbelts. Let's get it.
Houston, we have a problem. Yes!
To the Wrestling Rum Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I'm your host, yours truly, the big man himself, the real Dwayne Allen. I is in the building today, and he is your host, Mr. Super Producer. Brother Hugh has the third H to the H to the S, P to the H to the D, 3 to the R to the D in the building, and he is your host, not just any guy, but the man of 1,000 epiphanies, the belt king himself, Brandon the Guy. More on that later. And he's in the building, of course, and he's in the building, the man, the myth. The voice has to change from him, the heart and soul, the creator, the curator, and still, no matter what, a complete heel in 2025. Hollywood. Brian H. Waters. I ran out of stuff to say about you, Brian H. But welcome to the Wrestling Rum Now podcast. We're back for another week. It's Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Where we at? How's everybody feeling? It's been a lot going on. I know last week was kind of intense, but you know, we got through WWE Clash in Paris. That European crowd, that French crowd was absolutely insane, which I expect no less from, because of course, avid European football fans, not you American football fans, but football fans around the world, goodness gracious, man, did they make wrestling fun. But fellas, how did you guys enjoy the show? How did you guys feel today? Like, we're back. It's another week. We're back in the saddle, about to lay the smackdown on some superior wrestling intellect. How's everybody feeling?
I don't trust his face. Do you see his face? He's up to something. I don't trust him.
Nah, I forgot to put the video clip in here. But
Don't even say how you feel. That's why I said I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
I forgot.
How's he feeling? How are you feeling, you? Tell the people how you feeling, huh? How are you feeling, you? I'm just wondering. You okay?
I'm good.
Okay, you're not feeling a certain way?
Oh, you wanted me to say what? Okay.
And don't worry about it. Okay. Back to realness.
I'm rock hard with emotion.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
There it is.
You just can't say that without just
straight face. There we go.
Oh boy. Well, listen, we are back. Like I said, welcome, brothers. Like I said, we took a week off. And of course, you know, everybody, we know the community had it all on Smash as far as the Clash in Paris preview shows. And we had some business to take care of. But we are here to, not necessarily discuss what happened, but there's some things that have led up to the main event and the purpose that we are here on this particular show, because Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have made a statement that I think no one has made since. We're going to discuss that later. And I think the inevitable is going to happen because CM Punk is finally going to even the odds. Now, I know people weren't fans of the Mixed Match Challenge, but oh boy, I think old Tripster's got something up his sleeve. But before we get into all that, let's stick to what we do best. Let's get into the logistics, because every Tuesday at 8 p.m., something happens on the Wrestling Realm network of media spaces where two guys, not one but two, they come together and they embody everything championship related. And if you don't have an idea of what I'm referring to, just listen. As if you didn't already know what I was referring to, championship culture. That's right. Brother Hugh, Brandon the Guy, they come together to bring one of the most elite conversations in championship culture, history, perspective, all that good jazz. Gentlemen, how are we feeling? You guys are fresh off another banger this Tuesday. Another conversation, another look at some championships that they have almost like a cult following, right? But you guys definitely brought some history, you brought some information, you brought some new things to light in regard to these particular championships. But I'm going to allow you guys to have that discussion. So, Brother Guy, Brother Hugh, who wants to discuss what this week's episode of Championship Culture was all about?
Amen. Amen.
Laugh like that.
Why is that laugh like that? That was like one last edition of Championship Culture. Brother Hugh.
like Dragon Ball Z was that last time.
Dragon Ball Z. Piccolo.
That's crazy. That's
Goku. Goku must make a decision.
Does Gohan have what it takes to beat the Namekians and the Saiyans in the battle? Brother Hugh, what was championship called? You want to talk about this Tuesday? You want to talk about the Tuesday we had the fill-in for Hugh? Because I don't know if the wrestling world. I don't know if the wrestling world heard that Hugh suffered an injury and he hurt himself while he was polishing his belts that he finally got back from customs that he was held up with. But then he missed a show because he hurt himself trying to clean his belts. So we had to say
what did I hurt?
It was big toe.
That finger.
So you want me to show you the injury? Because I was going to show you last night.
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
I can do it. You might censor it.
No, it's okay.
I'm just making sure. Okay.
All right. Yeah. But tell them about as we talked about last night. What happened last night, Brother Hugh?
I don't know. But hi, Hollywood. How you doing, brother?
What up?
Why are you all over the place? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
It's so good.
You wanted somebody to say hi to him. How you doing? You know what I mean?
I'm good. I'm sitting here doing post-production stuff
okay.
now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen,
It's
Realness is trying to
get doing the show.
Realness is trying to get to his notes. You know he got notes.
You're right. You know he did.
We
talked about a collection of belts that I think could be ranked as one of the top sets of belts in the wrestling industry right now, and that's the Major League Wrestling or MLW championships. Brother Guy and I, we broke down these titles, the design, gave you a little bit of history on them, and to be honest, I really like these championships. I really like them, and I'm eager to see if anybody else where do they rank these actually these championships on their pedestal as far as like the best in the business, because everybody has a vote in for that TNA for the TNA titles as far as the best family or the best set of belts in the business. But MLW might give them a run for their money.
Oh boy.
Wow.
And with that, oh boy, he got notes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I think the one thing that's going to kill those belts that they won't be the best in the business, the names are entirely long, as we discovered, because we went through the MLW World Women's Featherweight Championship. We went through the MLW National Openweight Championship. We went through the MLW World Middleweight Championship, the MLW World Heavyweight Championship, and of course the MLW World Tag Team Championship, which was formerly known as the MLW Global Tag Team Crown Championship. But with all that being said, it was a good breakdown. I think Brother Hugh did an outstanding job on breaking down some of the nuances within the belts, some of the aesthetics of it, what makes each belt unique. Because I will say this, they do have the most unique for each division. You clearly can see what division is for. So, yes, sir. I would say go back to look at season 4, and that episode was the MLW Championships because it was a great breakdown. And there's a lot of things that people didn't realize when it comes to Major League Wrestling. And I'm glad that he put those 2 belts on the front so you can see it's about those championship belts.
Oh boy.
Okay. Windex in the wound it is dangerous. It's very dangerous. It burned a little, but I can handle it.
MLW. Now, for those that are not familiar with MLW, it's Major League Wrestling. It's to me, it has, like I said before the show started, it's got a bit of a cult following, and then it's some of our favorite superstars and pro wrestlers that we enjoy right now. A lot of them have gotten their feet wet in MLW, either in between their time between bigger promotions, or just them cutting their teeth to get to some of the bigger promotions. But Brother Guy and Brother Hugh are absolutely correct. But without further ado, let's not waste any time, because you knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was definitely going to have the notes. I'm still partly in French, so I've got the notes. That's a terrible French accent. I have to work on that, but it is what it is. But yes, indeed, people, I've got notes. Brian H., I'm not going to do it. I'm definitely just not going to do it this time. It's been a long day, but I'm just going to. That's all I'm going to do. So, MLW.
Pretty soft. Do it.
No, I'm just.
Come on, man.
I know it's been a long day. I know it has. And this is the one time.
Do it.
I might double up.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Next week, I might double up. It's okay.
All right. That's cool.
So, yes, MLW. There's a few things. I got a few notes on these particular championship belts. Beautiful belts overall. But I do, as usual, have quite a few opinions on all these things. Now, we'll end up doing another episode of Championship Culture, which we don't have time to do today. But like I said, if I can't be on the show, if I can't disrupt the comments, here are my notes. So one of the things that stands out to most to me about, I guess, half of the MLW championships is I love the Aztec/Gladiator style theme concept for some of the championships, most particularly the national champion. I'm not saying those full names, and of course the tag title. They are 2 of my favorite championship belts, like in my wheelhouse. So when they say realness, what are your favorite championship belts? Those 2 have always stood out to me the most. I like how you guys broke down the nod to ECW and the connections to it, because a lot of people don't realize that ECW like kind of gave birth to like other children. People that had worked within a promotion and, looked at things and said, okay, we don't have to make the same mistakes that Paul E made. Maybe we did things a little bit differently or go about things in a separate way. And MLW is one of those promotions, along with, Ring of Honor and Gates Polsky and all these things. And of course, other promotions that came from it. But in this space, MLW was one of those promotions. And I loved the history behind some of the championship titles and even the side plates you guys discussed, like Taz's FTW title, and even like the circle side plates, early on when he had the ECW Winged Eagle television title, that also had circle side plates. So it was a lot of nods to ECW. I enjoyed that a lot, and that's one of the things I kind of always liked about MLW. But my favorite titles, like I said, are the tag team championships and the national championship. That national championship is probably my favorite belt. That could easily be my world title. Now, there was some controversy. There was some conversation that you guys had about the new MLW World Championship, and Brother Guy, and I'm sure some of his cohorts are not happy about it. Here's what I'll say. I absolutely love the new design because I absolutely hated the old one. I was not a fan of the big square belt. The big square belt, I get it, was a nod to like the early years of pro wrestling, as in like, hey, 2 weeks ago, this used to be real. You know what I mean? Even if you look at like Canadian Stampede, you see that square style championship belt. Never a fan of it. Never fan. That was always the one drawback I had with MLW. It's like, bro, I like your tag titles and I like your national open weight championship better than your world title. Nothing against it, it just wasn't my cup of tea. But the new one to me fits, you know, the national and the tag title in cohesion a bit more, because you guys had this conversation about cohesion in the family of belts and how middleweight and the world title looks more, you know, the original look more similar to each other, and then the national open weight and the tag title kind of fit more. There's a conversation lately about cohesion, because TNA belts have kind of reset the bar for championships that we have been looking at, and WWE to a degree, because they kind of started that whole keeping our belts looking relatively familiar with each other. Right. But it does not matter to me. But it almost sparked like a new show. Like, does cohesion even matter? That's a deep cut, because you got to be a serious, like, it's like a Patreon exclusive for belt collectors. Does cohesion matter? Is it important? And some people may say yes, some people say no. In this situation, I'll say I don't need it as much. As long as the belt looks good, I'm not that picky about it. But the last thing I'll say is, because there's a lot here, but I know we got to move on. The new championship does look undone. Don't get me wrong. It does look like it's missing some color. It reminds me of when the TNT championship debuted with Cody Rhodes, and it was just rushed. He was trying to get it situated. He wanted to get the TV in time, and it, you know, that iconic kind of red and silver belt, you know, and then we would eventually see what it was supposed to become after a while. And that's kind of how I felt about this their new world title. But I think it's a complete upgrade from the original title. But I do understand why it's hard for people to accept, because think about it, there's so much history attached to that championship. When you see that world championship, the previous one, that represented MLW, like to me at its highest peak of, you know, people or fans are really buying into what's going on over there. So with that being said,
why they brought it back.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, pretty much, and that's understandably so. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But yeah, so that's all I have to say about it for now. We could talk about that all day. We've had this discussion before, but those are my notes. That's all I'm giving everybody. So there you go. So if you want to go back and hear the full conversation, head over to youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Playlist Championship Culture. It is in season 4. They are rolling all the way through season 4. Before you know it, season 5 will be starting to cook and preparing for whatever's going to come next. But if you want to go back and watch the full show, youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Playlist Championship Culture. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Check all the platforms: Facebook, X, YouTube, and you can watch the show live. And if you don't, hey, you have the luxury of going back and enjoying it at your leisure. So with that being said, we're not going to waste any time. We are going to ask our co-hosts, Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa, to do us the honors and ceremoniously help us start the show by ringing the bell. Gentlemen, can you help us start the show, please?
Want to ring the bell? Ding, ding.
So there it is. The bell is officially rung. Let's get this show on the road, because every week, as usual, not only do we discuss championship culture from the previous Tuesday, we always discuss a segment called What Did You Watch? Now, we already know what the heck we watched this week, and we're going to talk about it slightly. Not to mention, there's an epiphany that has come through all this, and I'm interested to hear what this individual has to say. But without further ado, good brothers, I want to ask you all, what did you watch? Brought to you by good friends at SeatGeek.
If you're looking to purchase tickets to concerts, live shows, sporting events, and more, head over to SeatGeek.com, where you can use our promo code Wrestling Realm for any one-time purchase of $50 or more. That's promo code Wrestling Realm on any one-time purchase of $50 or more.
All right, good brothers, we know what the heck we watched. We watched WWE Clash at Paris. Let's just get it
in.
What I keep saying? At Clash in Paris. I don't know. I'm rusty.
I like Clash at Paris better.
I didn't mean to say that. Clash at Paris. Clash in Paris. So, how did you guys like the show? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys were you feeling it? Did it live up to expectations? How you feeling, brother Hugh?
Wait, what day was it?
It was Sunday, wasn't it?
7. Yeah.
These mixing up, it be getting me confused. I'm like, okay, what day was it? What was I doing? Okay.
It was a decent show. I mean, it delivered. It, enhanced some storylines, the usual. Left us out there with a couple of cliffhangers and whatnot, but I enjoyed it. WWE has been delivering lately with their PLEs. Every match hit for sure. I'm trying to think of the match that stole the show. That Donnybrook was all right. It was cool. I think they dragged it along. It dragged it a little bit too long, but I wasn't mad about it. Everybody delivered. Everybody did their thing.
Best match both of those guys have had. Most meaningful match. I'll say that in a long time between those two guys. Trying to get those guys going again.
I think towards the end, the crowd was kind of like they kind of like was drained towards the end because you had everything else that went on and everybody else with the other matches, and then you had to wait for that main event, and then you're wondering what's going to happen, and it's like, all right, it just seemed like it was a little drained towards the end because so much happened during the show.
Sure, I can see that. How about you, Brian H? How you feeling about Clash in Paris? Clash in Paris. I said it again, bro. Clash in Paris. What the heck? WWE Clash in the Paris. Clash in Paris.
I enjoyed it. You know who I was glad to see?
Who's
Nikki Bella.
Oh,
really? You've never been a Nikki Bella? I'm intrigued, brother. What's going on?
Because I started really rocking with Nikki Bella really when she started doing that stuff with her sister.
Okay.
Because it was just
the beef between the two.
Yeah, that heel turn. And then when they, that was a time I know you're very open about how you felt about it at the time, like that 2014, 2015 era.
Oh boy.
I didn't hate it, but it was like, oof, when you go back and look at it, it was rough. You know what I mean?
That's compared to what we got now.
Yeah, but I enjoyed her bouts, and that would ultimately lead to us getting Charlotte Flair. But I was, when she makes her comebacks, like recently, stuff with Ronda Rousey, that was cool. But I really enjoyed the match with her and Becky. I know everybody likes to talk about the missed insecurity that Becky wasn't in place for. Everybody wants to blame Nikki Bella for. But I don't. Me, I'm not gonna sit there.
I blame Nikki because she's whack.
I'm just not gonna sit there and critique. Oh, this is a botch. This is a botch. A fight. It's supposed to be a struggle. It's supposed to be mean and gritty.
You're right.
So I was kind of hoping the trigger was pulled. I've been kind of annoyed with Becky Lynch as the Intercontinental Champion until hold on. Hey, Google, stop.
Sorry. Cut it out, Google. Cut it out.
No, it's like this. You gotta get your routine. That's when it's telling me to go to bed.
That's your AI personal assistant, like Jarvis from Iron Man. That's okay. Go ahead.
I don't know what you just said, but
I know that's why I said it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was say he totally went over his head. He's like, "What is a Jarvis?"
That's cool.
But I'll say this about Becky. When the show ended, I said, "Okay, I get it. Let's buckle up." All right, I'm for it. I'm not, because to me, the Intercontinental title needs that story right now.
That history. I think it needs that history.
Well, and that's the reason why I think you have that mid-card title that builds up, that the Legends build, and then we got the other mid-card title where we're bringing them up. Shout out to Michin, next U.S. champion. I'm still holding on to that one. I know I said that last year.
Hold on, brother. Keep on holding.
Hey man, this feud with Julia about to be fun, and she got a squash win over one of my favorites, Kiana James, on SmackDown. So, but overall, I thought Clash of Paris. Matt brings up the Roman beatdown, which was. That was fun to watch. I ain't gonna hold you.
It was.
Good way to go on vacation.
He picked the wrong fight with the wrong guys. But you ever know when they want to send somebody off, they always send Big Bronson and Braun in.
That's perfect.
Bro,
more aura. So did y'all see that photo? They said when you look at MITs or MFTs.
Mm-hmm.
You see JC Mateo and he removes any potential aura the group had, and I couldn't agree more.
He really does, bro. I see why he stayed away for so long. Remember, Everett, you mentioned, and I bring this up because you said it. You mentioned my 2015, 2014 era of WWE when I was like, I need to go around the world, see what else is going on. Mm-hmm. And I remember he was up next at one point. Like he was a big deal in New Japan. And I was like, all right, so when's he going to blow up? And I should have known something was up because he never really blew up in New Japan. Like he was never like, you know what I mean? He was always in contention and in the conversations for the matches. But when it came to like, hey, yo, who's going to be the next top monster in New Japan, it just didn't click. And then I didn't.
Real rude.
Go ahead. Just be rude. You're Hollywood. Hold on. Time out. I validated your behavior. Go ahead.
I never liked that body style, that body type in wrestling.
Not that size.
Him, the Sammy Callahans.
Yeah, they're too. You know, I don't want to say it like that, but they're tiny.
It's for
they're square. Him and Otis, they're just square. It's like how is that functional? It's just like a square box. It's like I feel like what's the movie that just came out with Jet Black and Jason Momoa? Roblox. I feel like they are Roblox characters with action figures.
Well, here's the thing about Otis, though. At least like Otis to me is fine because his personality outshines it.
That's right. Yeah,
Otis, like there's a such thing where it's like you're not fat enough, or
bingo, he's a tweener.
Like there's certain wrestlers, right, that I'll sit there and I'll see them with their shirt off, and I'm like, bro, you know, tighten up.
Yeah,
or
put
on the the singlet or something, and so like even like
on.
like back in the day, Louis Tofiga, he was somebody who should have wrestled with his shirt off. You know what I mean? Because he had that big man monster build like the other Samoans, but like JC Mateo, he just kind of like you said,
built like a mini fridge.
He don't have that physically. He's like, I'm not scared of him. It's like, get out of here.
That's because he ain't got no neck. Solo. That's why he's like this.
It's the height. Looks like this. It's the height. That's all it is.
Yeah, he don't have no neck,
and he's smaller. Like I saw him in Jersey, and I'm like,
tearing this guy up.
Dude is little. Like, I'm the
you can see it.
One out of all.
His arms are up here because he ain't got no neck. It's just like it just starts and ends right there. Yeah, it's just like
built like Rhino.
He's chin and chest.
No, see, Rhino's got height though. He's taller than me. JC Mateo isn't. And I'm
solo.
Right, and like I said, I met Bronson Reed in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That dude, or 24. He got some height on him. You know what I mean? And that's why I like. And he has personality. Like you could tell, even when he was in NXT. Like, oh, this dude, he's funny. He's hilarious. I wasn't familiar with all his independent and worldwide stuff, but and JC Mateo, I'm just like, bro, y'all really want Jeff? This the Jeff Cobb y'all been clamoring about?
He looks like a stone. They need to quietly let him go and then bring back Tama Tonga. Just call like they did Carlito.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Tama Tonga had personality.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't fit in with the group, but
they must like him.
I mean, he's
and Doritos.
He's a decent worker. I mean, but
no, they must like him. That's always my thing. He must be a good person.
I was shocked when they went after him because I haven't heard his name in years, and I was like, oh, I forgot he was out there still. Remember, we kept saying like, oh, there's no more top independent global superstars, and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot Jeff Cobb was even still out there.
We were still right. There's no more top independent global superstars.
Yeah, well, that too. But
unless they got Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. He set the bar too high. I'll be honest with you. He was old school. Like he's somebody that could have came into NXT back in the day and tore it up. Back in the black and gold heyday when everybody was, like even Drew McIntyre was showing up in Bobby Roode. That famous appearance at NXT takeover. You know what I mean? But
sitting in the crowd or come at the end of the match. Look, like with the black shirt on, just come interrupt the match or knock out the champion or whoever lost or who's their first opponent. Here we go.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. But Clash in Paris, Clash in Paris. I enjoyed it. I like how WWE purposely goes outside the country for, I guess, what we call these mid-level PLEs, and because they just make them feel such like you get to go to like the largest indoor arena in Paris versus the Rosemont Horizon. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're fitting almost 30,000 people in there, and then you break a record like, oh, the last person that came in here had a anything close to this was Taylor Swift, and we just broke that record. It's pure marketing. It's smart to do that, because now what's supposed to be something that carries you on to something bigger becomes a bigger deal than it may have been in the States. So I thought the show overall was really, really good. All you guys had made excellent points, but we have somebody here that has come to an epiphany. It's because the way Clash in Paris ended, it ended with Becky Lynch coming to the aid of her husband. That is going to be the main event of tonight's show, because Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are running WWE, and I don't think there's any other power couple in history, except the exception of one power couple, that has come close to the magnitude that these two Hall of Famers are going to have. But before we get into that, Brother Guy, you said you have come to an epiphany about something, and you want to share it with the world. So let it rip, sir. What did you come to?
So it's insane, because when I was watching Clash of Paris, I kept saying, all right, I know I'm going into this PLE and I'm not overly excited. So I know it's going to over deliver, because anytime in the Triple H era, when I'm not excited about it, it over delivers. But I keep feeling like, okay, they're counting down Cena's time for a reason. They letting us know it's 13 dates, 10 dates, 9 dates, whatever it may be. And they kept wasting them, in my opinion, on just appearances. And I was like, oh, it's so that people can see him, right? So as I'm watching it, and like, remember with the Cody match, it was like, I hadn't seen a Cena match that great. I said that was probably his best match. And these are my opinions, because I wasn't a Cena fan, because I thought AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan had gave him his best matches. But I'm like, Cody, you in that list too.
He's definitely in that list.
Yeah. And it was insane, because as I watched him and Logan Paul, which I didn't agree with, but I understand why. And here's what I didn't agree with it, because I feel like it should have been another on this last run. It's other superstars, but then when they said he shared the ring with Logan Paul the most, I was like, he has. Yeah. Okay, they finish in this portion. I hate to sound like a story, but when you think about John Cena, what I came to the conclusion was, and I got notes because I had talked to Brother Hugh about this, but I finally figured it out. When we talk about that word greatest of all time in professional wrestling, we're not just talking about the title wins. We're not talking about wins or losses. We're talking about how they impact their consistency and their legacy. And
absolutely,
when you think about that, John Cena stands above them all. And I'm going to tell you why. Not just his accolades of being a 17-time world champion, 5-time United States champion, 4-time tag team champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, 1-time Money in the Bank winner. Yes, from the championship culture guy. You know I got to throw that out there. But championships not only tell part of his story, Cena has carried the WWE through one of the most difficult and challenging times.
That's all.
After the Attitude Era, right? Yep. We went into what's known as the Ruthless Aggression. And we started going through other things, right? Right.
The Depression Era.
So after the Attitude Era ended, the WWE was looking for his next face. Here comes John Cena. He got us through the Ruthless Aggression, through the PG era, and now I'm going to just call it the Triple H's era. But Cena became a foundation for the company, which they're building upon him. No other superstar has had the company build upon him. And Cena was always there to headline manias, putting on memorable rivalries with current stars, because you can't say these stars' name without saying John Cena. The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Edge, CM Punk, AJ Styles, Triple H, all Hall of Famers throughout these eras. Cena made those moments Hall of Fame worthy.
Shawn Michaels, though? I mean, you ain't mentioned Shawn Michaels. Drew, they think
I'm getting there, right?
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear Shawn Michaels, man. You name all them other guys.
But it's a reason, because Shawn Michaels was a Hall of Famer before he got to that point.
Okay, fair enough.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can argue The Rock was too, but remember, this was The Rock passing the torch. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. When he was passing the torch, he was at that cuffs a Hall of Famer, but it was like, okay, here's Cena, you run with it, right? Mm-hmm. But not only did he do that, he gave us the indie darlings on the main stage that we were dying for. The Kevin Owens, the Claudio Castagnoli, the Sami Zayn, and we can count on many, many more, right? But beyond the ring, Cena has defined what it means to be a WWE star. That never give up mantra has become a lifestyle, which has inspired millions and millions of people worldwide, not just because of his Make-A-Wish record, 650 and still counting.
Dang.
But it's more than any celebrity, more than any athlete, more than any wrestler. Nobody has come close. I think the closest person is like 300. But then there's this crossover success. Cena went from the squared circle, as we call it, to the big screen without losing any of his credibility and not needing WWE to boost his credibility on the other side back. He's a proven draw when it comes to Hollywood, but he always comes back to WWE to continue to draw. He doesn't use one to fuel the other and vice versa. And that's loyalty that literally fans have been connected with, and it sets him apart from anybody else who has went to Hollywood. When you combine his championships, his rivals, his mainstream success, and his sheer impact, and his hard work to connect with the fans and the business itself, there is no debate. John Cena isn't just in the conversation of a GOAT. He is the GOAT. Because at the end of the day, whether you cheer or boo him, there's one thing you can't do. You cannot ignore John Cena when it comes to wrestling and entertainment. And if I'm being honest, it's easy for me to ignore him because at first, he didn't fit the mold of what I thought a wrestler should be, right?
George.
But here's the thing. Yep, the Jorts. I wasn't the target audience when John Cena was introduced into the WWE.
True.
I wasn't a younger fan. I wasn't having my parents take me to WWE shows.
True.
But those kids have now grew up. And every time those kids were getting those colored T-shirts, those spinners, those hats, they were living those moments. And we talk about how much we hate the spinner, but do you remember how rare that SmackDown spinner side plate was because John Cena went to SmackDown, had that spinner side plate. I mean, just the one on the spinner. And that belt, if you look up how much it costs, it's insane just because of that man, right? And look how much that tells you the story. And I'm going to wrap this up because this is what I want y'all to really think about. It wasn't just the kids growing up with Cena. WWE did something unique. The parents brought in as well. They were taking the kids to the show, so they got sucked in. And now they're being drawn back because of Cena, what he's doing. Because if you are a fan and your kid was a fan, a parent automatically becomes. Because if you ask any high schooler, any high school parent, a parent that has a child in high school and say, can you tell me where this phrase came from? They're going to tell you, and I'm going to say this phrase. The code never bothered me anyway. Every parent's going to tell you where that came from. So just like those kids kept saying, you can't see me, those adults were saying it too. We grew up in the era of this and this, right? These kids grew up on the same thing. It got replaced. How do you replace a whole taunt with something and continue to make memes in 2025 to talk about you can't see me? The difference that Cena and so many other stars haven't done is that he's sought after for his movie roles. He's sought after for his time in the ring. And he is literally in demand to the point when WWE says then, now, and forever, John Cena is probably going to be the only superstar attached to all three of those words.
Wow. There you go. Brother Guy has officially come to an epiphany.
And it took me a lot to realize. I said, he is. I said, I can't deny him because he is. And that shows he has 8 more appearances. 8 more.
Yeah. I think
he's drinking the goop juice.
We won't feel the magnitude of John Cena's presence in WWE until he is gone. We already know that. Mm-hmm. That's when we'll see it. But yeah, that was definitely a lot. I mean, you definitely made the argument for his place. The WWE acknowledges him as the greatest of all time, and it's probably for the same reasons that you just eloquently broke down for the world to hear. So I mean, that was kudos to
definitely made a lot of good points for sure.
And when you think about it, and I kept saying that then, now, and forever is their statement, right? Wrestlers fit in those categories. There isn't one person that fits in all three. Cena fits in all three. And he's probably going to be the only person that fits in the then, the now, and the forever.
Okay. Hey, listen, it's tough to argue. There's a few names you probably could, that's in that category, but it's clear that John Cena is definitely the headliner in the mix of all of that. But yeah, shout out to you, brother guy. That was very informative. I think it's a lot to put pen to paper, and it's like when you really listen to it, you're like, oh wow, yeah, I guess you kind of got a point. John Cena did do quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, it's curious to see how this will all wrap up. I know, the week before last we talked about John Cena, and we talked about it. How does this all come to an end? How do we walk away for good? So yeah, so go back and watch that show, and then in correlation to what Brother God just said, and comment in the chat and in the groups and all the other places that we have. Your rebuttal to that. How do you guys feel about everything that Brother Guy had to say? He made a lot of valid points. So I'm curious to see what the fans have to say after hearing all that you have had to say, Brother Guy. Thank you for that.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah,
it's good over here.
I'm still listen. He wasn't
for the past a couple years. John Cena for now. But yeah, John Cena. I put him over Hogan. I put him over Flair. I put him over Shawn Michaels. When you look at everything he's done,
it's hard not to with that body of work. I mean, all the way across the board.
If you go back, I always make the reference that Ravens' first ever draft pick was Jonathan Ogden, taking a 4th pick in the '96 draft. Mm-hmm. And it was between him and another guy who was a running back, a superstar prospect. And that guy was told, I want to say it was Ozzie Newsome or Phil Savage was told, if you pick Jonathan Ogden, you can sleep at night. If you pick the other guy, you don't know what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. John Cena is the guy who can sleep at night. He's reliable. He's dependable. Now, his counterpart, I think the person I'm always going to associate with him is better at everything that John Cena does, but that's for wrestler fans. As far as wrestler, exactly. Okay. Randy Orton is the prototypical. You design a wrestler, you want him to be like him. He can do everything, but he wasn't dependable. His body of work wasn't the same, and that's the reason why he's not. I mean, if he's 14, but overall, when it comes to marketability, you could trust John Cena. Now, if I was writing a storyline, I would have Brock Lesnar say the only reason why you're there is because I decided I wanted to go play football. Yeah, because that's the guy who was slated. Everything
I know
it was supposed to be him, and those two would have went back and forth. Brock was a mega baby face, but it probably would have been some sort of Hogan and Andre situation, I'm sure. And he probably would have been the one to do the honors when Cena finally got over. But it's hard not to think that. But you deal with the cards you dealt with, and John Cena overcame everything.
Yeah, yeah,
and I don't think it's an accident that he was the one to do the 17, because Randy could have. But to your point, Randy is the wrestler's wrestler. John Cena is the never before seen 17. That's going to be his thing. That's going to be the forever. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody's ever. I don't even think Charlotte Flair will get that accolade, or even if she does, it's something like it's going to be attached to Charlotte Flair, of course. You know what I mean? But it's never going to be that big of a deal, because how long was it? Almost 20 years before somebody got close. Or was it like 16 years before somebody got close? When does John Cena hit his 16? Was that like 6? It was something 14 or 16 years from when he won his last world title that it was like, somebody actually got close to his record.
Was that Royal Rumble 18 or 17?
I'm gonna have to go for I can't remember. Was it which one?
I'm tripping. It was 17 because that's when Bray won from. Yeah, that was the WrestleMania 33
when he was the 16. When he got a 16th world title, right?
Yeah.
So imagine.
Hold on, this question from Pez. This is a great question. If you were asked what are the 5 greatest moments in wrestling history, would John Cena make that list? I'll say this. I don't think he has to be on that list automatically where that would disqualify him from the being the greatest of all time. Because I don't think Ric Flair had one of the top 5 greatest moments in wrestling history.
What?
Yeah.
You don't?
I gotta sit there and think, but nothing jumps out of mind. What I'm saying, like nothing.
Starcade?
I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you.
Starcade, what? What? The Flair for the goal? Wrestling history? Like I said, you
said it.
I know, but I'm saying, like, when you think of, like, all right, so here's what I think of, like,
go ahead.
Greatest moment in wrestling history, something that immediately captures my attention, right?
All right. And you said not top 5.
Nothing that I can honestly that'll jump out of my attention.
That jump out to yeah.
Like
Austin,
Austin 316. You know
okay,
what I mean?
All right. That's
top
one.
5.
I might as well just ask because I'm curious.
Slam Andre.
That's 2.
I hate to say it.
Say it.
Cody finishing that goddamn story.
That's 3. Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you so far because when you look at that, it's like, oh, okay, all right, the standards are kind of high.
You know, like we talking like top
Austin HBK.
HBK, yeah. And then the last one that jumps out to my mind.
See, it would be a toss up for me because I'm thinking Mega Powers or the Ultimate Warrior. You know what I mean? Because both of those moments kind of have the same weight to it.
Oh, there's a good one. But, the Mega Powers Explosion is a good one, right?
Yeah, because it has the same weight as Ultimate Warrior winning. You know what I mean? Like, to me, they're like the same.
In the same group, yeah.
Yeah, like, which one do you...
heel?
Okay. All right.
You know,
all right, fair enough. Okay. I wasn't disagreeing with you. I just had
wasn't in that match. It wasn't Flair.
Yeah. Listen to me. Do you know the crazy part is Hogan wasn't in that match either.
So you don't think Cena would make that match just with the 17th win?
No,
I don't think so. Not compared to those.
No, just because.
I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon to put it in there.
The moment, you know, like if we're talking like top 5 greatest moments.
I mean, I wouldn't put it there.
That moment was trash.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Him losing.
The moment was trash, but it's what came of the moment, which is that 17th championship title run, right?
But do we remember Ric Flair's 16th title win?
We don't, but
that's the thing.
You know
what I'm saying? So because you're talking about the moment, not what came from it or not come afterwards. Like that's a different conversation. To your point, brother Hugh. So
what about the heel? What about the heel turn?
See, I would put the chair shot for the Shield before I put Cena winning the 17th title in that moment.
You said that. And guess what? I was even thinking the Heist of the Century.
Oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like because that moment, though like those, it's the moment that I'm gonna always go back to.
Moment.
Like
and look, Roman Reigns is my favorite wrestler of all time. He don't have a top 5 moment to me that I would put in those conversations. Of course I'm gonna have like top 5 moments, but he's not gonna have a top 5 moment that I'm gonna say, okay, this is history right here.
Right.
Him losing. It was him losing.
Yeah, that's the moment. Yeah, because I was after a 4-year reign of terror. By the way,
it was greatness. You see the world been afterwards.
The world changed 10 times over by the time we went in wearing masks. We
was eating great in 23.
No,
this sounds like.
But did you see his answer? Did you see his answer? He said, "The birth of Hulkamania." I was gonna say Hulkamaniac. The birth of the Attitude Era and Bruno losing the. After 8 years.
That wasn't. How do we? It just got lost. It just got lost in yesteryear. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's possible. That's possible.
Yeah.
See, that's why it's those moments. That he lost.
Way too far gone now.
Nobody gonna go to that. They probably would say more than Bruno Sammartino. They'll probably say Tito San. What's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? Being the first Puerto Rican champion. Probably before they said. Thank you. I don't know why I was saying being the first Puerto Rican champion.
Gonzalez, Mazantos.
Because that was a big deal. Not Bruno losing, but that was a a moment. Just like we could argue and say, well, how about Ron Simmons winning the WCW championship? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But that's moments. Those are cultural moments that would be on different people's lists at different time.
Yeah. No, that's also a valid point as well. Yeah, that was a heavy one. But because this is the realm. This is what we do. But
man, John Cena already jacked one show I've worked on this week.
Okay,
come again. That's all this John Cena talk.
Well, listen, this is all we got, man. This is it.
This ain't see something they don't sound right about that. Like I haven't put. You just said those words. You were branded 8 appearances left. I haven't been able to process that. This has been a rough year, and then you gonna hit me with that? Like,
I'm trying to tell you, man,
this is fair.
It. Like it's winding. The crazy part is it seemed like it went really fast because the first half of his comeback was a bit of a blur, and it picked up after the heel turn. Then that's what I mean. It was like, okay,
bro, I was there when he was writing 20. I think it was 23 in Vegas, and now we had 8.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's 8, right? Because he said 9 on SmackDown, right?
As far as I know.
Wait a minute, it might be less because if it was 9 on SmackDown, 8 would have been Clash in Paris, right?
Clash in Paris. How do you?
I wanted to say this. I think Paris has won the award for the best crowds because they have the most energy. The entire
football fans, man.
It didn't matter what was happening; they was just energetic, and
football fans.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, they haven't called and I know what he's talking about the main event. It seemed like they kind of was like, all right, but they were still amped up, and then they just started singing for no reason. Like, I'm like, "Ooh, this is."
Didn't they the ones? That was Lyon, France. With Jay Uso, with
the flashlights.
When it went to the next level.
And that's when they were shaking the camera when AJ Styles was in the ring and everything started because they were so loud it was rumbling everything.
They was about to repeat it when he pulled up in France again. When he went out there, they went nuts for AJ Styles.
We keep making references about these crowds.
France is making.
You see what they doing? You see in January they going on international again.
Germany. It's gonna be the same thing.
Bro, they going on that World Tour in January.
We already lost the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we about to lose.
Well,
that ain't coming back.
Look,
I'm sorry.
We already lost the Rumble. Yeah,
we about to lose it all. Look, because they gonna go over there. They're not gonna be on their phones. They're not.
Because those football fans look at sports differently than we do. Like if it was so bad. I watched European football highlights and stuff like that, and Adam was watching it, and Nina had heard. She's like, "You watching soccer highlights again?" I said, "No, they're in France." I said, "That's that same group, though." I said, "Them same fans out there. Have you ever watched? Go look at Premier League highlights or Bundesliga highlights, and it's like a college atmosphere when it comes to their football. They do not play any games. Like they have a rich history, like all the way back to like hurting each other in the streets. Like this is how serious it is. The way their fans consume their sports is almost like it makes you gravitate towards what you're watching because they're that amped up, they're that locked in. Like it's not a game. And I'm like, that's the same fans that show up 30,000 strong to a wrestling event, and they treat it the same way. It's just there's a level of appreciation to it that they're like, no, we're here. When I say they're sharp, even their chants went from I'm trying to figure out how they went so fast from listening to Becky Lynch say what she's saying to shut the F up. I'm like, how did they all in unison know at that time to say was such a it was ridiculous. And I'm like, but that's just
not even their words.
It really isn't. They said it in English.
And it's crazy when you look at those the thing that I can appreciate. And remember, I said let them have it because we've gotten spoiled. Maybe that'll wake us up and show us that we are horrible as wrestler fans because we've gotten spoiled. And we are spoiled because I do feel some kind of way that wrestling. I'm sorry, let me take it back. WWE hasn't come back to Maryland or DC in almost a year now. It seems like it's been forever.
February.
When?
February.
Yeah, that was like last year in wrestling terms. Like, think about it. That was like last year in our mind because we used to get 3 or 4 shows a year. Like, we might have to wait till a holiday tour at this point. And remember, the holiday tour, they kind of skip us because they all go to New York.
Is DC getting seen the last match?
DC is. So that's already sold out. We ain't even gonna try it.
No. See, the Mid-Atlantic used to be a hotbed, but not anymore. Not anymore.
That's true.
But
they said we go with the big stadiums. We don't have arenas. We go to stadiums.
We still when we do it right, we still up there, man. I still take Baltimore over Philly.
Oh yeah.
You just got bad memories because it was so cold.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
I'm not gonna bring it up. That's sorry. That's sorry. It's like I said, when you can fit 30,000 people into arena / stadium, like, oh yeah, it's arena, but it also doubles as a stadium. Like, see, this is ridiculous. That's why they want to go to places like the O2 Arena in London. And it's like they were big arenas. And it's you packing out 30,000 people, and then the next night for Raw, you bringing in almost 15, whatever. I'm like, yo, this is 21,000, something like, yo, this is insane. Yep. But I'm telling you, man, European sports fans, they appreciate.
And we got the big stage. And we got the big stage. I said, oh, the big stage is big. Oh, okay. It was simple, but it was unique.
Yeah. It stood out. Like, okay, cool. We got the big LED, but then that Eiffel Tower going up. I said, bro, this is genius. I enjoyed the show, in case everybody haven't noticed at this point. But there's things on the show that I'd also enjoyed. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. Triple H has done it again. We get into a point where obviously Jey Uso was affected by him trying to help his big cousin out, his big brother, early in the evening, right? Trying to help Roman Reigns, but them hounds, man. Bronson Reed and freaking Braun Breaker, two guys you don't want to mess with. Them young dudes are putting people down. I mean, they are on a tear this shit, and they did that exactly. They put Roman Reigns down. He's gone. Go on, film your movie, Roman, because I'm sure you got a couple of cracked ribs. Jey Uso gets in the mix, gets hurt. Clearly not 100% going into that world title match. And but of course, what's his name? Adam Pearce said, you know what? All of you banned from ringside. Roman Reigns choked out Paul Heyman. He was in the hospital. I assumed Seth Rollins had something up his sleeve because he said it. I'm always two steps ahead. I said, all right, here we go. He's gonna grab another young guy and add him to the group, to the vision. And boy, was I wrong. It's because at the end of the match, his wife came out. Good old Rebecca. I've been calling her that all like 2 days straight. Good old Rebecca. Because as soon as she got in the ring, I knew exactly who the heck it was. I said, sheesh.
For real?
I swear. I said, sheesh. Like a little kid. I said, sheesh. I said, I knew exactly who it was. I said, out of all people, though, I'm like, I forgot his husband is. His wife is the man. Like his wife is the man. If anybody's wife was gonna go in there and do that, it was gonna be her because she comes off a lot tougher than he does. So I was like, oh, this is just it makes way too much sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm like, he's like, okay, cool, backs against the wall. Hey, babe, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I need you to help me out. If things get sticky in there, here's what I need you to do. And she's like, cool, no problem.
Waiting.
And she has been very open and vocal about it. Think about it. Once again, we go back to WWE Unreal, the first episode of Rollins Reacts. Becky Lynch is backstage watching her husband say, oops, I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to be here, but that's just my husband. And because she Becky Lynch, they gonna let her do it. She knows that she's like, I'm not supposed to be saying this right now in front of the camera, but I can't help it. That's my husband. And she'll tell you in a heartbeat, my hot husband is at my hot. And she was mentioning him a lot lately. Like everybody knows that there's these couples in WWE, but they're beginning to acknowledge them a little bit more once again because it's the new way. Let's stop insulting the audience. We're gonna hide in plain sight. So I'm like, man, here we go again with this unintentional conditioning, where it's like we've been seeing her mention him, and now all of a sudden now they're involved together. So what other person would come in and be able to handle a situation than freaking Becky Lynch out of all people? So I was like, oh my goodness. And then when I looked at it, when it was all said and done, I said, wait a minute. I said, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are walking Hall of Famers. I said, they're both on top of the WWE. I said, and now they're openly acknowledging they are together as far as the vision is concerned, the faction. I said, they are running WWE. This is absolutely insane. I said, I have not seen a power couple since Stephanie McMahon, Helmsley, and Triple H. And I cannot think of another power couple that had that much influence over the WWE since them. That's why I purposely didn't bring it up until this point, because I'm like, bro, these two are the most powerful. You know, Stephanie wasn't necessarily an in-ring performer, but she was running the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I mean, it's almost as bad as Bischoff and Hogan. Like just the people that's running the show, as well as the guy that has a strap around his waist. It doesn't get any more dangerous than that. But then you have Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, two champions. One at the top of the women's division as the Intercontinental Championship was going to bring that championship that much more importance and notoriety. Which her and Bayley have been doing for a freaking long time, and now you have Seth Rollins at the top of his game. Fellas,
The
talk
only
to me.
Grand Slam couple.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Their child has no choice but to be a wrestler on both sides. Like their daughter is going to get into the business. It's not like daddy was this and mom was. They're both. We've seen ballets and we've seen wrestlers, we've seen married couples hitting there, but this is just on a different level. And I don't know exactly how this is going to end. I think we have an idea, which we will discuss. But brothers, how you guys feeling about Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch coming together on camera, on screen to pretty much call their own shot and say, check this out, we're running this now?
I'm so happy it's being done correctly, because the last time we saw them, Universal Champion and Raw Women's Champion, nobody cared. It was like, okay, why is this happening? Okay, you acknowledge the fact they're together. It wasn't a real storyline. I wish that she didn't have the Intercontinental title and she would have won the tournament or face Stephanie for the title, so Stephanie could chase her, and then you could have that image of Seth and Becky holding both world titles and really be the power couple.
Oh,
like, yeah, you could be the power. No, I'm saying because exactly that's the point. It would be so much.
That would be like the bloodline run. That'd be another 4-year freaking.
I think it would have been. I think Stephanie, that would have made her what they're trying to do with her even more. Because think about it, when Lita took the belt from Stephanie, how much of a pop was that, and how much of that moment was it when Lita became champion? You know what I mean? It meant more because she was chasing, she was trying, she got it. And the crazy part about this, they both can talk on the ring, they both can wrestle, they're both going to sell, and who knows? This is what the shot in the arm it needed, but I'm just worried that we're going to have a situation where something gets lost in the sauce, because remember with Liv and Rhea, the title took a back seat because it was more about them. So I would hope that the Intercontinental title doesn't take the back seat, or, something takes the back seat because we're more focused on that. So
it already took the back seat because there's no challengers for it at all, to be honest.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, that it depends so long. We still didn't address the elephant in the room. How am I got my beat by Bronson Reed taken out? I come back and say, "Oh, I'm your leader now. Come here. You beat me so bad, I'm going to be your leader now." What? Like, we really not going to address that? Come on, Triple H.
He said it.
He said. Listen, he said it. He beat me so bad, I had to put him in a group.
He said he respect him, but that's what I said.
Yeah, but I'm gonna follow you.
But
I took you down.
Triple H's third version of evolution. That's all it is. Giving us evolution over and over and over again.
That's Triple H's favorite archetype.
That's his formula. I was gonna say that's his formula.
That's either recycled booker. At least Shawn Michaels rebooks all his stories, not.
Brother, he's not letting that one go. Brother Hugh,
right?
He just rebooks everything. This work. Hold on, we only on 96. We still got a few more years to go.
Only on 96 throughout the whole roster, different wrestlers, and he said, "Oh, Raquel and Roxanne, y'all want some here? Shawn and Diesel, boom."
Bingo.
That's crazy. Yeah,
right.
You're right, bro.
Brother Hugh, you were talking about. You think that you had mentioned something as Brother Guy was talking about. You felt like, well, shoot, the IC title's kind of taking a backseat as it is because there's no legitimate contenders. As far as something that people want to see, not for the sake of competition, right? Like we talk about Rhea and Liv, that it wasn't just for the world title, but the story between them, the heat between them was just happened to be that much more important than the championship. But you said you feel like, well, the title's already taking a back seat, so you don't mind it being Becky Lynch in this space with this championship. How do you feel about it, Brother Hugh?
Yeah, I don't mind it at all because it gets more TV time. And as far as like in the prime time light, in the spotlight, it's going to be there. You're not going to forget about the IC championship. Because for the longest time, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot who Debbie even had it. Yeah, even when the first girl had it, Lyra had it. Yeah, I forgot that it was a thing. To be honest, so now this is a chance for the WWE to make that title seem relevant, right? Throw it in your face nonstop, and what better way to do it by putting it on the man first of all. That's one way to elevate it, but then putting her in one of your top storylines.
Bingo. So now the women's intercontinental championship is a part of the history of what's about
there
to happen.
It is.
I agree with
there
that.
There it is. Yeah. Then you have opportunity. Then you got opportunities to build other female stars with that.
Because eventually, you know, it's going to come a chase.
Yeah. So I think it was a good move. We asked for it earlier with Becky, but I don't think we were really ready for it then.
Right.
So I'm glad they did it the way they did it, because we kind of forgot about it. We were thinking, you know, some other guy, maybe Austin Theory. At one point, I was like, all right, maybe Ethan Page, but then now you see what he's doing with Chelsea. So I was like, nah, it won't work. But we knew somebody was coming out, and we kind of forgot all about Becky. But it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah,
it's personal. Think about it. It's personal though.
It's
Seth
definitely
doesn't
personal.
He can't stand CM Punk. And if you look at Becky and what she said about AJ Lee in her book, she didn't really have like a good first meeting with her or whatnot. So it was like, all right, this is personal.
We got a little history here. We got what's really keep everything to do. The callbacks.
Absolutely. So it was a good choice.
No, I was just saying, like, I mean, you know, the thing is with the Raw women's division, it's stacked, it's top heavy, right? You have all main eventers, or you got a tag team.
True.
So, like, you know, your tag teams is, you know, the Kabuki Warriors, Roxanne and Raquel. Then you got Megastar and Rhea Ripley, right? Bianca's on the shelf. You got Io Sky, you know, WWE's greatest wrestler right now. Then you got Bayley. So they're building the IC title. Lyra was a perfect IC champion. Technically, like, I would have probably rather have seen Stephanie Vaquer to go for that title. I think if Naomi wasn't pregnant, she probably would have lost to Naomi and then kind of dropped down in the division, like went after the IC title. But I do like this, and like you said, when you can kind of like pause the contendership, you know, especially while we let Bayley's new story cook a little bit. You know, she's seeing things and hearing voices, right? Then you bring on AJ Lee. Cool. They're gonna have a match, you know, since SRS wants to report it, and then the word on the street is it's not just a one-off, you know. So they'll have some matches. AJ probably take it from her, you know. But I'm excited about this version because, like, Brandon brought up that other version. Oof, the man's man. Once he became, it felt like it clipped him.
It was his music too, because he had the creative player. They took the worst part of that song, and remember that was his music. He didn't know the D was just, I'm here, Universal Champion. Look at my superhero inspired gear.
Every wrestler, you know, had an ugly face, you know, at one point. Sometimes it's in the beginning, sometimes it's the end, sometimes it's just in the middle. That was Seth Rollins. Like, why was he a baby face? You know, that was a long baby face run, and it was an ugly face. And you know, now we didn't need this.
Nobody asked for it. Nobody asked for it. Why are you pushing him as we didn't like what?
We wanted to see
Kingslayer, Beast Slayer.
We wanted to see Becky cook after she finally won the title, you know. But that was around the time they had just got married too, you know, and so. But hey, congratulations! Now we're really about to see them cook because Becky Lynch is annoying.
Yes, she
I do not want to root for Becky Lynch, even when she came back at WrestleMania. And I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, you was good and hot.
Because I like ever since she been. Well, I'm talking about this year's WrestleMania.
Oh, you're talking about this year's WrestleMania.
And she had that. People was happy, and I was like, turn heel already. I don't like. She's so easy. After that, first of all, you know what it is? It's because she's so skinny now.
She's like very lean.
Like you know, and she's has this different attitude. The man I like was the one leading into WrestleMania 19. I like rooting for that version. This one, nah, let me root against her. I want her on my TV so I can boo her.
She's one of the top heels. Like, she knows how to get under people's skin. And I think she got under CM Punk's skin this past week. You about to say something, brother? You?
No, not at all. You good.
So here's the thing, though. So you have Becky Lynch.
You
have Becky Lynch. You have Seth Rollins, right? They have have staked their claim at the top of the mountain, the greatest power couple in WWE history. Now, we all know there's been rumors. Big E tore, as they call him. Big E made it very clear. I know AJ, she needs to come back. CM Punk, I love the fact that she knows her place. She was trying to bait CM Punk into something. She knew he's nothing he can do about it. She slapped him. She berated him. And he said, I'm not. And he was about to start talking about their family. He's like, nope, I'm not going to do that. I got no beef with you. I respect you. I can't stand you. You have a terrible taste in men, whatever the case may be. And she kept trying to bait him in, and she was trying to get him to say something. And he was about to say some real. I don't care about you. You know what? Okay, I'm not doing this with you. I'm leaving. And the provocation was so off the charts. It got to the point where she laid hands on him. Seth Rollins gets out of there, and he says, you are going to regret putting your hands on me. Everybody knows that CM Punk is married to AJ Lee, and everybody's been dying for her to come back. Oh, boy. We know we're going to get this showdown. CM Punk, AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. This is a different level of storytelling. I don't think we've ever seen this level of talent, male and female, married couples going to collide, because it's coming. It's blatant. CM Punk said, where are we at this week? Oh, we're in Chicago. Even better. He'll be home.
You trying to say that Brie Bella and Maurice wasn't talented?
What I'm saying was they weren't in high profile beefs where it was like, okay, cool.
The Miz and Daniel Bryan, where they took over SmackDown talking smack.
I agree with you, but Maurice wasn't at the top of her game at that point. She was just coming back.
True.
We're not talking about
never
prime
at the top
Maurice.
of her game.
Who wasn't at the top of her game? Who do you think?
Brie was never at the top of her game.
Oh, okay. Well,
preach.
I thought he
Neither one of them,
wait a
man,
minute.
like,
Give me Maurice before you give me Brie.
I would say like that, but they also got caught up in that era where women's wrestling was not as respected.
It was the bathroom break. It was the bathroom break match.
They were.
And I hate to say it.
They were an additional act. They were part of the show. They weren't involved. Like, this is a main event, not a main event women's storyline. Not a. This is like, no, this is at the top of the card. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Miz and Maurice versus Daniel Bryan was one of those, but it wasn't at the time, right, where it is now.
Right.
And I'm like, oof, like that couldn't main event at WrestleMania. I'm not gonna lie to you. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. That's good enough to be a WrestleMania main event. Pick whatever night you want. You know what I mean? Or at least, night one or start the show, something to that degree. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be one, like, oh boy, because first of all, everyone's going to be going nuts just to have AJ Lee back. That's one. That's already going to be crazy in itself. Then we're going to talk about just the dynamic between the two. You know what I mean? It's like, Edge and Beth Phoenix and AEW, like, this is some bull. We missing all the fun stuff right now. But yes, are you guys looking forward to this inevitable matchup? Because we're about to take this home. Like, we know.
I got beef with AJ still.
Let's talk about it, brother. Why do you have beef with AJ?
July 15th, 2013. You already know where I'm going with this. She screwed over my guy. This man was supposed to win this daggone World Heavyweight Championship, and she screwed him over.
This. I'm sorry.
Yes, I hold grudges. I hold grudges.
I didn't get over it, brother. I'm sorry.
Hey, I don't care. He got over for me. Look, he was over for me. That's all that matters. That was my guy, and I don't like what she did to him.
It was real to you. It was real to you.
Broke my heart.
Yes,
broke my heart.
She did him dirty.
She definitely did him dirty. But no, for real. AJ is one of the best in a transitional period for women's evolution, right?
Yeah.
So, like, to be honest, as much as I do not like Becky Lynch, you gotta respect her. This is how it was with Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. I did not like him as a player at all.
Rest in peace.
But I respect the hell out of him because he was just that great at what he did.
Michael Jordan Jr.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the kind of respect I have for Becky Lynch, to be honest. So we need something new. We need something fresh. And why not give AJ Lee a chance? If she's willing to come back and actually wrestle
in this
in
era,
a time period where
Facts.
it it wasn't just. Well, you have better talent now. Let's put it that way. I didn't want to disrespect, but you have better talent now. They're actually wrestling now, and it's actually being eyes put on the product for women's wrestling.
You got better producers. Right? Yeah.
So, like, why not have her come back just like you're doing with Trish? Let her come back at these matches.
Now, this solidifies her Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
There's the debate before AJ Lee, is she a Hall of Famer?
Of course she is. Who said that she wasn't?
Right. Why wouldn't she be?
That's crazy because I don't care what nobody's. First and foremost, I'm sorry, I don't mean to address this or cut you off, Brian Nash, but are you kidding me? Like, she forced her way into all those other storylines when women's wrestling wasn't a sideshow. Like, it wasn't just Braun Panties match and a 40-woman battle royal. Like, she was one of the ones that she was lucky enough to scratch through. The Paige, the Caitlyn's at the time.
She made Paige, and because Paige couldn't have been Paige on the main roster if she didn't take out AJ Lee.
That's true.
And Caitlyn, a lot of people forget about that match when TNA had just had a great knockouts match, and Vince said, "I want to show our women can do the same thing, damn it!"
For one night,
they went out there, AJ and Caitlyn, and put on the best match in probably since Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano. So. And even they didn't get time. They was just great wrestlers, but they still didn't get time. But I think, AJ been working, you know what I mean? Like, she been, the stuff she been doing at Wild backstage and, teaching them girls how to go in the ring. She been working. So I'm excited, to see. I don't think, you'll see any ring rust or anything.
I'm thinking about these matches we're gonna get now. You know what I mean? All of these matches, these what? Roxanne.
AJ versus Roxanne Perez.
What?
Give it to me.
That one, and then you got of course Paige is probably gonna come back too. So we're gonna revisit that rivalry. But we got a lot of women on this roster. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see some good matches out of AJ and everybody else.
Yeah, I feel bad for Cora Jade because she probably wanted to have that moment too, but they
absolutely.
She's overrated.
Yeah, well, that's all right. All right. Well, I think that's it, brothers. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are definitely running-ish in WWE. Now, I think that is all subject to change because I'm sure that AJ Lee and CM Punk are going to have something to say about that. We are going to get into the next chapter in the book called CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. How Seth Rollins and CM Punk just know how to have rivalries with people.
They're going to fight forever.
They're going to fight with, like, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk was insane, right? That ended. Now, CM Punk and Seth Rollins was simultaneously going on. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins is that dude. Like, and Becky Lynch, you could say the same thing about her. This is insane, but I'm looking forward to this. There's so much more to come. We're only scratching the surface, and we're only a few days after Clash in Paris, with WWE's just starting to cook. And I think we're probably going to get way more out of this than we probably anticipated. And I'm looking forward to it.
Realness, real quick. Do you think that AJ Lee will stick around, or you think it's just going to be a few matches and done?
Here's the beauty of it. The way Triple H and the WWE takes care of their talent, like, you can still stick around and not have to wrestle 300 days a year to earn your paycheck. Like, look what they do with CM Punk. They protect him very, very well. He's there full time, but he's not. You see what I'm saying? Like, you or Trish Stratus, you can come back, or Brie Bella. I mean Nikki Bella. Like, they figured it out. Like, they're much more. I don't even know what you call it. They're much, like I said, I call it a much
family friendly.
Yeah, they're much more humanitarian based. AEW started that. Like I said, Tony Khan showed the world you can be a good person and still run a wrestling business and treat your employees and your superstars better, and still, you know what I mean? It don't have to be, because don't get me wrong, pro wrestling is rooted in such a cutthroat industry. I understand that was the way that it was. That was the nature of the business, but it's changed. So it's like she can come in and do her spots, and she doesn't have to be there. It's okay. In order to earn your paycheck, to earn your worth around here, we want to make sure you're on the road 300 days a year. So we get, like, it's not that way anymore. And I think that's what she's probably looking like. Oh shoot, if they gonna give me that type. Look at Roman. Roman's a full-time wrestler, but he works a part-time schedule. But his his part-time schedule has full-time impact in the books, in the TV screen, in the rating. So it's like, okay, well, if it works, we have no points to prove. It's like, let's not rock the boat. If this is the nature of the business and it's working for everybody, hey, Trish Stratus can come back and have her run and then leave and then come back without having to be like, okay, she was gone for 6 months. Let's build a story. You don't have to. It doesn't have to anymore. Let her pop up. Let her do her thing. Same thing, Nikki Bella. Like this, the atmosphere that they have created is making people go, oh shoot, maybe we can probably figure this out. But so that way, when wrestlers don't have to leave and go work independence, they can kind of like live their careers out in WWE and walk away peacefully instead of having to say, well, let me go to another promotion real quick to grab me. Because that's what we did. Everybody went to TNA real quick. All right, I'm done doing the big leagues. Let me see if I'm gonna make one more couple big league checks going down to the minor leagues because they're gonna pay me based off my name. And then when I'm done, I'm done. Mm-hmm. So it's just different. But like I said, with all that being said, please follow us on all of our social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. Subscribe to our Patreon, our Twitch, our YouTube at The Wrestling Realm. Follow Championship Culture on Instagram at Championship Culture _. Don't forget, every Tuesday, 8 p.m., check for all the Wrestling Realm platforms where you can catch Championship Culture well into season 4. If you have not watched it, catch up on all the episodes from season 4. Go back and watch season 3, 2, 1, bonus episodes, etc. Brothers, we're finally getting out of here, and wrestling is just heating up. The fall is here, and who knows what the heck is going to happen next. But until then, we will all see you all on the flip side. Catch you next week. Wrestling fans, like I say every week, stay wrestling fans. Be safe, all that good jazz. We out of here. Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
For all exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/thewrestling_realm. You can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/thewrestlingrealm.